Chachamim explain that it has a special feature. Unbelievable. That salamandra is created from the fire. If you let the fire burn for a long time, some say 7 years, something will come out of it. It has appearance of a lizard, it's called salamandra. And if you take that salamandra, you put it in a fire, it's immune. It wouldn't get burned. Even more so, the Gemara explains that when Ahaz wanted to throw Chizkiyahu's son to the fire, his mother saved him. She smeared his body with salamandra fat, and he went into the fire, nothing happened to him. Sefer Hasidim tells us a story, fascinating. There was a goy that wanted to show people about a robe that belonged to Jesus, that if you put it in a fire, nothing would happen to it. And he did so in front of everybody, and the coat would not burn. There was one wise person, he said, "Give that coat to me." He took the coat and he washed it well with detergent. And afterwards he said, "Throw it now to the fire." He put it in the fire and the coat completely got burned. People didn't understand what happened. He told them, the goy smeared that coat with salamandra. If you smear it with salamandra, nothing happens to it. I just removed it. Fascinating idea we found in the Sneh, that Moshe Rabbeinu comes to the bush that's being burning for so long and it doesn't get burned. It's still in existence. Moshe Rabbeinu wonders, what is that? Rabbeinu Bechaya says there was a double message over here. In one hand, Sneh, Chachamim tell us, is Sinai, which means it comes to hint to the Torah Kedosha that was given in the fire. Kiko dvari ka'esh neum Hashem, which means the words of Hashem, the Torah, is like a fire. But on the other hand, says Rabbeinu Bechai, comes to hint about Am Yisrael's future that will be burning constantly by the nation with pogroms, with Holocaust, with expels, with all kind of different things that Am Yisrael would occur. And therefore, there's a double message that we learn over here. In one hand, Am Yisrael would be burned constantly, but they would still exist, just like the salamandra does, just like the sneh does. What's the power? Sneh, says Rabbeinu Bechaya, is Sinai. They have the power of the Torah. And that's what the salamandra also comes to teach us. Salamandra, say Chazal, all the way in the end of Masechet Chagiga, we can learn Kal Vachomer to Talmidei Chachamim. Just like a salamandra doesn't get burnt from a fire, Talmid Chacham, even the fire of Gehenom doesn't burn him because he has the power of Torah. Power of Torah is like smearing salamander on the body and you're going into the fire, nothing happens to you. And that is the message that Moshe Rabbeinu is receiving. You should know that in one hand, there's a fire in that sneh, in that bush, that burns constantly. And that what would happen to Am Yisrael all over the future. But you know that the only way to survive that is if you have the power of Torah. Kiko dvari ka'esh neum Hashem, which means Sinai is what's hinted from the word Seneh. And that is the message that we learn from that special lizard called salamandra.